Jeff and Dom tonight?
I believe that we are person one.
Nice.
Missed all. We didn't record all that sweet IKEA gamer furniture content, but that's okay. We'll do it on take two.
Well,
They haven't announced it yet. That's what's so funny.
IKEA gaming collection, including a very weird new product. What about just IKEA's actual website? I want to see it straight from the horse's mouth. I accept your cookies.
They just haven't announced it yet, or they haven't released anything. So.
Oh, so they don't actually have. This is it. It's just the press release.
It's just a press release, yeah.
But other.
That's what makes it even funnier, frankly.
They have gaming desks? Is this not what we're talking about?
I don't think so. I think that's not it.
Okay, you're saying that this has been around for a while.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yeah, I kind of expected to look cooler than this, but let's see.
Maybe it's
Who do we go with?
Gaming desk
Kotaku, maybe?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay.
That looks normal.
That looks very normal.
Maybe not everyone needs RGB.
Oh, that's right. We looked at this before,
We looked
right?
at this a little bit, yeah. Not everyone needs their RGB underlighting, maybe, so.
Yeah.
It's for the normals.
Okay, yeah, they've got like a kind of like gamer chair that they've this pleather, these really cheap looking armrests. All right, getting there.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
God, it looks weird.
I think they really just reskinned their existing furniture, right?
It sure looks that way.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Whew, gosh.
Yeah. Well, apparently this is part of their whole gaming setup.
Yeah.
All this is just one of their like 4-leg square desks with shelving behind it.
Yeah, that's an extremely normal IKEA desk.
Yeah, this is the normcore IKEA gaming desk.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I started playing Hades again, by the way.
Tell me about it.
It's great.
Which? No, PC.
On PS5, yeah.
Okay, yes.
No, because we were looking for something new today. We were like, well, that just came out, and we could start a new run. It is amazing. Starting from scratch is just as good as it was the first time.
That game is super good. Now you're making me want to play.
You could. I'm
only playing Eastward.
Oh, is it amazing?
It's pretty good. It is.
Is it ponderous? It looks kind of ponderous.
It's not ponderous. I like. Okay, so it's got my attention. I will play it till I finish it, for sure. It looks really good. I have some significant complaints about it.
Damn.
But it does look good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's worth playing.
Cool. Great. That is a strong recommendation. So.
Yeah. Oh, floater bomb. I don't know what this is. This looks like an older version of the game too.
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe I just haven't upgraded it to that level yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like. I mean, the aesthetic for this one just blows me away. I love how dense and sort of rich the world looks. So
it is one of the better looking Zelda likes that I've played in a while. Do you remember that I played this game called Crosscode?
Oh yeah, you loved Crosscode.
Crosscode's really good. I think Crosscode gameplay wise is better than Eastward. Eastward, like the world building is really good. It's very fully realized. The game actually feels pretty good to play. The combat feels nice. The enemies aren't that interesting ultimately. The combat design is not that interesting. They tried to make it a little soulsy. It feels like there's a lot of like animation locked, kind of like animation timing really matters.
Oh, fascinating.
But
everything wants to be a Souls-like now.
Yeah, it has the kind of like the plot lines are kind of zany in a way that feels a little bit tired.
Is it like Yakuza side story zany?
Not as self-aware,
okay.
I would say. But yeah, I think it's that level of zaniness. Um, and then visually, the game is amazing, but it has a big problem in its readability, which I think it's an important lesson.
Oh, I could see that because
It's very organic, right? Like everything is painterly, but like you can't tell which doors you can go into or not.
yeah, right. It's like they went out of their way to not make it look gamey in a way.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it has the feel of one of those like pixel art posters that is meant to evoke gaming rather than be a game itself. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah, I kind of like the one, almost like that. You have a poster like that in your house, almost.
Yes. What are they?
Yeah.
What is it called? Something boy, e-boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I think I have basically the icon set for these city drawings, right?
Exactly. Which like looks like a video game would be impossible as a
To
video
play.
game.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Tokyo 42? I think.
Is that another one of these? Oh, this is a game.
It's a game that looks exactly like an e-boy drawing to me.
Oh, hell yes, it does. This looks beautiful.
Yeah. But I saw this and I was like, how readable could this be?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
if you ever wanted to like run around in a Sim City arcology, this looks like the game for it.
It does looks like SimCity 2000 arcologies. It looks exactly like that.
But it's like a stealthy shootery thing. It's like
Right. Right.
it's a bizarre little thing, but the aesthetic is off the wall.
It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of Shadow. What the fuck was I just playing?
Shadow Warrior, or the
Shadow. Oh my god!
the
I
samurai
can't remember
game.
anything these days. It's not Shadow Warrior. It's Shadow Tactics. Shadow Tactics. Which was great. Love that game.
Yeah, it has that vibe.
Yeah. Perspective wise and like sneaking up on people.
Yeah.
Shadow Tactics is like you don't actually control the player. Like you don't like walk around with like a stick. You like it's like RTS style control. You tell them where to go. You tell them what to do. So there's like a level of indirection. Whereas this looks like you actually control the player directly.
Yeah. This one, everything about this one always looked like 10 times too small to me.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
do love the colors though. It just
it's amazing.
It is
yeah.
striking, right?
Well, and, like I thought this was like an actiony shooter game too. Like there's a lot of it looks more stealthy in this video. There's some of it, yeah.
Yeah, this starts
shit.
to look like the Ascent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, real interesting aesthetic. I never played it, but I definitely liked looking at it.
Yeah. So Eastward, yeah, I think it has the readability problem, but it has a very charming world building. The storyline is very earnest. You can totally tell that the game is like a super labor of love. I think like 3 people worked on this game since like 2015.
Wow.
So it's been gestating for a while now, and I think it's going to be a hit. I think it deserves to be. It very much it's idiosyncratic as a game construct though. Like it, and in a way maybe that's good, right?
That sounds like a positive, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like the sort of storyline beats are a little bit weird and awkward, and they'll cut away from a moment too soon and go to some other thing. And there's a lot of like parallel plot lines that are going on that I think add up to is a little bit self-defeating, I would say,
Okay.
narratively. And I'm still waiting for them to get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they have some, like genuinely powerful moments. Like there's this like point. There's like this sort of like bucolic setting that you get launched into after the first chapter, and then something terrible happens to it, and it's like, whoa, they really built that up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of how far into it you are? Are you like still in the Are you in like Act
I've
One or like
played
sort of?
like 6 or 7 hours. I've
Okay.
heard it's like you could play it for 40. Apparently, it has
Oh
enough content
Jesus.
for
Okay.
40. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a commitment game.
Sounds
What
really
was
good
what
though.
was Hades? Hades was like a 20-hour game, right?
I mean, depends how you
I
play
think I
it.
played it for 35 or something.
Yeah, I think it's more like 30 or 40 if you, especially if you want to like do some of the epilogues and some of the challenges. Like,
Did you get to the end to end?
no, I didn't. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that this time. The nice thing about the second run too is that everything goes a lot faster.
Yeah. You know what to do, you know what to get.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would totally play that again.
It was really good.
I've probably spent like half an hour in Hades trying to get better at the loot.
What do you
Do you
mean?
know how you can buy the loot in your room?
You can buy the loot in your wait. What? Oh, the loot.
The leer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
the leer
yeah.
is not a loot.
Can you get like? How do you get better at it?
Um, apparently you can keep playing it.
Seriously.
Yes.
And you eventually stop sucking?
You eventually stop sucking.
Oh,
Yes. But it's literally you just go up to it and you keep hitting the button over and over and over again, which I guess is just an in joke, really. Right?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, Eastward. I would recommend it.
Cool.
If Zelda games are your jam and you like doing like little puzzles, it's pretty good.
Nice.
Um.
They are, and I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Don't buy IKEA gaming furniture.
No. Buy Fully desks. They're great.
Yep. So I was working on something that I want to really quickly finish up. It's not gonna
I like that.
not gonna be that interesting, but
I like that your search results are half Hades just for googling it once.
Mirror Unity.
Mm.
I was trying to make a lobby.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've done some investigation for this as well. Did
Yeah.
you try using their room controller?
I'm partway through it right
Okay.
now.
It's kind of it didn't just work when I used it, which bummed me out.
You're right. It doesn't just work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, so I'm starting to formulate a slight understanding of how Mirror works, and I think their big problem is that they don't have any layers of abstraction. So there's like a bunch of stuff that's like compressed together, but some of these classes are less important than others. So I would make the claim that the network manager, which we inherit from, and it actually has quite a bit of business logic,
This does a lot. Yeah.
is actually high level and something that you should probably chuck once you understand how things work. Now they meant for it to be kind of extensible, like they added a bunch of these callbacks and hooks and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I actually think that there are enough like knobs and switches on it that I think it shows that it wasn't really designed in a focused way. Right? You look at the network manager and it has a bunch of this shit on it, you know?
When the things you want to interact with are the network client and the network connection, and those have
Correct.
Those have good APIs to work with.
Yes, there's a network client, there's a network server as well. And I think these start to get low level enough that you kind of don't want to mess with this.
Yep.
Right. And I think one of the problems with this is that this library implements like these complex protocols. All of these objects have like relationships with each other, and they all have to like play a certain part at certain phases of the game loop, right? So it's a little bit unclear what you need and what you don't need. I think Network Manager though starts to be something where you can just like kind of do it yourself.
Yep.
One example of that is like you might not always want to transition to the same scene every time you get your connections together, right? There's
Did you copy the whole network manager class into ours and we're just gonna override it now?
I didn't do that yet.
Okay.
I started down that road. I thought about it for a second, and then I was like, you know what? We just need a lobby. I'm going to use theirs.
Cool.
And we'll worry about like making it a good lobby later. So I did change our network manager from team network manager to game network manager,
Cool.
and it now inherits from network room manager,
Hmm.
which itself is a child of network manager, right?
That's
And this is the lobby thing that you were talking about, right?
yeah, and this is sort of like I went in here and I started using this and I was like, they're just re-implementing a bunch of network manager. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it didn't immediately work and I was like, well, what did you forget to document in your room demo?
yeah. This definitely made me feel like all of this is just like super hacked together.
Hmm.
It makes me a little bit uncomfortable, right? There's a lot of if you're in the lobby, do this. Other like if you're in the lobby, run this code and return. Otherwise, do this stuff.
Hmm.
And this is like a common function that's like a life cycle function, and this feels weird. It feels like it doesn't belong here. It feels like there should be another class that's just the lobby handling stuff,
Hmm.
and then all the rest of the stuff should get handled elsewhere. It feels either evolved or just undesigned a little bit, which is what makes me feel like we can just like do this ourselves eventually, right?
Well, yeah, because like here I'd want to like I feel like I would want to call something on the scene. I'm like scene ready for connection or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like not have this branching thing. Just ask the scene what it needs to do. Yep.
yeah. And there's still some like kind of weird things about this. Like there's a notion of a room player as opposed to a regular player. Um, because
It
the
real
lobby needs a player entity that
it really
is not a
confused me.
physics object, but it's
Yeah.
actually a game object. Like, why was that necessary to implement? I'm not really sure. Um, it could be that like you have UI elements in the lobby that you want to be client authoritative, right? Like I've opted in or something like that, right? And they
Yeah.
need like a hook to hang it on, so it's a
Hmm.
game object.
I did. Yeah, but the room player versus player I found really strange.
Yeah. So we have the game network manager now, which inherits from network room manager. Now the online scene is the lobby,
Hmm.
and the offline scene is network menu. So you can think of the online scene as like what happens when you either to say that you want to host a game or that you join a server, right? That's so both the client and server will enter what's called the online scene, and that's the lobby. It's shared between them.
Yep.
Then after the lobby, there's the gameplay scene, which is level one.
Hmm.
Again, the fact that this is even configurable from the Unity, it feels kind of hacked in. Like
Also,
it's not always gonna be the same scene, right? Like
also the notion of room scene and gameplay scene kind of bugged me when you have to put the same value into online scene, right?
yeah, and
It's
that
just weird.
and that's because the room manager inherits from
Yeah.
the network manager,
Hmm.
and the network manager doesn't know anything about this construct, right? So if the network manager was already kind of this ad hoc thing that they kind of threw together, the network room manager is this like even more ad hoc thing that's like kind of like teetering at the top level of this, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Um. So I think if we fire this up, this almost works right now. I kind of had everything wired up together.
Cool.
I don't love the fact that there's no way I can say like, okay, I need this many players to join or click ready before we start.
Well, I think
So basically,
that's up
what
to
this
us,
is,
right?
there's not even a GUI element for that. That was what I'm saying.
Mm. Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Because like I as the host should be able to like set like I want to wait for like n number of players. So what this ready button really is on the host side is like start the game, right?
Okay.
Because like other players can join and then they'll show up in here and they'll have ready buttons. But I think
What happens if you set min players to 2 in the room settings? Does ready actually start the game?
then if you click ready, then it won't start the game.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it'll wait for the second player to come and click ready. All I'm saying is that like I don't quite understand this whole implementation except to be an example of how you can use the low level components to put something together.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is like nobody in their right mind would ever design a lobby like this. Nor is this class that extensible. Like it would be really hard to extend this into something that like resembles a lobby that you'd actually want to use. Therefore, I think all the real utility of it is just to get just to kind of get something together to go.
Yep.
And then like if you really want to do it yourself, you can just study the implementation and write it yourself, basically.
Yeah, it feels a lot like the other network HUD, which I think if you think of the network manager the same way, yeah, the whole thing is basically a very functional maybe base implementation.
And I think this is an immediate mode GUI, right? This is actually really cool.
It looks like it.
Yeah. So there's like an on GUI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have case sensitivity turned on.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we're in the room scene, I guess it just draws players like a GUI box. That's funny. I would have thought there'd be more that's going on here. But that's this box.
Yeah, let's try the rest of it. That's interesting.
Good question. This is not ready. The player draws it, of course.
So draw player ready state.
Oh, yeah, wow. So basically every player renders it for themselves. Yeah.
Wild. Okay.
I do think that Unity did a cool thing by having this on GUI function on every game object. Every mono behavior has this on GUI.
Does it really? Wow.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do like, GUI elements, you could just throw that in there and then like draw a menu. Again, why it has to be a game object, I guess it's just that there's no other way to attach code to a Unity project except to a game object.
Yep.
Right. Which is normally fine. It's just that like it's just weird that they have to have a transform. They have to like be physically present in the scene somehow.
Yeah.
But I guess this is the psychology of me like learning Unity is I just have to figure out how to just like sort of tame the minimalism a little bit. Like just because I don't need it doesn't mean that I can't ignore it, like I don't need this stuff, but like I can also ignore it. It's totally fine.
Yeah. Unity is certainly taking some overhead for itself from our performance, from our possible performance, but
yeah,
it all seems like it's at least manageable.
Yeah, totally. So, come on. This works except that our affiliation doesn't get set up, right?
Oh, well, did you take out the code that does that?
I did not.
Oh, huh.
So check it out. That's all here on the room server add player.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just trying to figure out where this gets called because I have a breakpoint here. I'll even attach to the Unity editor.
Huh. Interesting.
And we're attached now. And we're going to start. This is a different breakpoint. Okay, well, this is great. It proves my point that like the debugger is attached, right?
Good.
And if I step in, we're in the room scene currently, so we're not going to get down here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to carry forward, and we never hit a breakpoint again. Oh, because we're in here now.
Yeah, so ready should go down the other branch. And it
doesn't. Yeah.
Can you put a breakpoint in that function? Like, do we make it through here again?
In this function, it didn't actually.
Oh, you did put a breakpoint there. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah. So I think add player is like the wrong concept here, because this kind of doesn't do anything. Again, I don't think the interface is very well designed here. So on server add player only gets called once, and I think after that point the player object actually gets replaced.
That makes sense. Right, because this is actually like connection management stuff too.
Yeah, there's a room player prefab, and then there is another. Okay, I think this is what it is. You see this replace player for connection here?
Mm-hmm.
We're taking the connection which used to have a room player on it, and then we're adding the game player, and the game player is like the tank, right?
Yep.
And so this is actually this is happening in game scene loaded for player.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Um, so this is why this function never gets called. It's
Yep.
because we add the player, but the player being added is the room player. It's like the object that represents the player in the lobby, as opposed to the tank.
So, but wait a minute. What I is the other one not overridable? Is that why we can't?
Are you talking about this one here? Scene loaded for player?
No, because you're. No, I'm looking for the on. Sorry, on
This
room.
one?
Yeah.
Well, it's overridable. In fact, it's a virtual here.
Okay.
The issue is that we only add a player once per connection,
Mm-hmm.
and that happens in the lobby.
Right. I guess what's weird to me is that it remains overridable and defined here, and the thing that called this.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is like,
like,
why even have this function in the first place?
right? Does this ever get called? I don't know. Like, it seems impossible if it's always there.
Yeah, like, can you call this if it's not in a room, if it's not in the lobby, right? This is basically saying if we're in the lobby and we've added a player, fine, add the player, right? That's what this is saying.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when does this happen? So maybe we can actually search for this. On server add player is actually something in the parent, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, because this is what we were overriding before, I assume, before you change it to the on-server room.
Yeah, this is on server add player. Yeah, so this actually is what we overrode originally, right? When this was used to be called Team Network Manager, this was on server add player.
Yep.
And we said, okay, do the same stuff as before, but add this extra stuff, right? So the strategy I was thinking about taking was to add a script that is a network behavior onto the player that is server authoritative,
Okay.
that tells you what your team is.
That makes sense.
And then it sets the affiliation that way, right? So the affiliation is not networked, or it could be, but there's going to be some central area that gives you a mapping between network IDs and affiliations, something like that.
Sure. I think that seems like the only way to do it at this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because basically our entire override of the network group manager is none of this now.
It's going to be nothing. Yeah. Although we do need some notion of like where the mapping between teams and connections are, or connections and teams rather. And I don't know where to put that yet. So that's what we can figure out right now. So I need like before we were doing this player count, right? And we were doing a modulus on the player count. And so I basically want to be able to replicate this, right? So we could still do that, right? Like we could do something like, well, do these network connections have identifiers on them?
I mean, connection ID, it wasn't clear to me if they were monotonically increasing or not.
Yeah, I think the transport sets this, and it was really hard for me to determine what the transport was doing. I think this is like this could be like a random number, I think, right?
Yeah.
And the network identity component has an ID, but the problem is that I think we just need to use the connection ID.
Okay.
So what we can do is something like this, like a private, is it dictionary? And that's under
it's like Unity Engine
system.generics.
.collections.generics, yeah.
And this is like a dictionary from int to team. And then this is like something like that, right?
Yep.
And then when we add the we can call this on server add player, and we'll call the base implementation, right? Which is the one in network room manager. And maybe we can insert into, we can do something like teams by connection ID. Can you do this?
Yes.
Something like this. All right, and that shouldn't have broken anything, right? This should be fine. And why are you complaining here? Make field read only. Oh, fine. It's not bad to have good habits, I guess.
Nope. Okay, so that's actually gonna be readable to us. Are we gonna make this accessible to whatever script we want to add?
Yeah, that's right. So now we need to figure out what to do with that information, right? I just want to make sure I didn't break anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and disable some of these breakpoints that I already had. They are no longer interesting to me at the time being.
That slow compile just made me Google for Unity M1 support.
Did you find anything?
No. I almost upgraded to whatever the next Mac OS is, but discovered that it does not work with Unity yet.
What is the next Mac OS?
Monterey. There we go.
Monterey, that's right. What happened to our red tank? Oh, it must have gotten killed by the turrets.
I think yeah. Got murdered.
Okay. So that is fine, right? This didn't break anything. So now what we want to do is actually read from this, which means that this needs to be a singleton somehow, right?
I mean, not necessarily. Like, this is this don't destroy on load? Like, it's always there.
Yeah, but how do we get access to it?
We can do the
game manager can maybe reference it?
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Well, yeah.
I don't mind hanging things off of the game manager and let that be the one network singleton, you know?
That seems right. Yeah. Mono behavior persistent singleton.
And we only need it on the server side, so
Does this need to be a network behavior?
I don't think so, because okay, maybe we can work backwards. Like, what's going to go on the actual entity itself? We have player script. This is just hanging out, right? This is a network behavior. Yeah. Maybe I'll just override this because every player has it.
What does onStart local even do now? Not much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, just the camera stuff.
It just sets up the camera. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna. So when we awake, what we need to do is, like, on the server side, we're gonna create the affiliation here, right?
Well,
if it's the server,
yeah, set the affiliation, right? Because the affiliation should be already on this game object if we're here. I don't think we create. I think we just do set because we added that getter setter system for it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. The affiliation already exists, right? And is that synchronized?
Yep. Yeah, that one's already all sorted out.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, affiliation is like it's networkable because that's how the turret building for each team works, which is really nice.
So we just need a way to get this. So I'm going to do the new property setting thing that I learned, which I think looks like this. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
the exact syntax. Where else did I use this? I feel like I use this on with
Oh,
these
there it
state
is. Yeah,
machines. This one here.
get private set. Cool. I think it needs you need the
It needs a
variable name.
name.
Yeah.
Is this gonna?
God, is that allowed? That seems so weird. I think if you delete public from get, maybe.
Or is it this?
Whoa.
You know what it is? I think you were right. And this is just a complaint that we don't use it, right?
I think so. Oh, that's weird.
Okay. This can't be private though, because basically we need to set it when the game network manager starts up, right?
Mm-hmm. The game manager and the game network manager are both created in the sort of like menu scene. They're always there together?
They are always there together.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Although you're right, there is an initialization order problem.
Well,
We could do this in start. Start happens after a week, right?
Okay.
We'll know that the game manager exists at that point.
what was I say too? If they're in the scene together, do you just want to drag the reference to the other one if they are always a duo?
Can you reference other objects that haven't been created yet?
If they're in the same scene, yeah, because I think it's doing exactly what you're about to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, like yeah. If you, yep.
So why don't I just do this then?
Yeah, I think that'll just work.
Why did that just pop up?
I don't know. Huh?
So you're saying I should do this?
Yep. And then on the game manager, drag the network manager into that slot.
Yep. You know what must have happened? I tabbed away from Unity,
it compiled.
and then the compile finished. Yeah. And you're saying, and it somehow can have like, it's almost like a promise pointer.
Yep.
It's not an actual pointer in the assets, but it becomes
so.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to basically do exactly what you were doing, which is like planning to create this object, make sure everything's created, and then fill in these references with.
Yep.
It's nice.
So, okay, so here's the question. How do we know our own connection ID? I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, I also don't know if that's possible.
Yeah. So if we look at a network identity.
Yeah, I was gonna say network identity. What does network behavior hand us too?
Yeah, right. All good questions. Now, I think clients don't know their own ID and they don't know each other's. They know the other's client IDs. That's fine. We don't need to know anything client side. This is all happening on the server side. But how do I get the connection? There must be a link to the connection.
There's a network ID there.
This is the connection to client. Is that what it is? It must be.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So game manager get dot game network manager dot what did I call the dictionary? Connections, teams by connection?
Yeah.
Did I make it private? I did.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
something like that.
Yeah.
Writer, one of the advantages of it is it enforced kind of like a more standard name scheme. It would warn about this kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is pretty handy.
And then the affiliation component is
Cool.
So hopefully that'll work.
How do we have access to Game Manager there? It's a singleton? What?
Singleton, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let's talk about that a bit. Game Manager is a mono behavior persistent singleton. And what this is that it is a mono behavior that when it awakes, it calls don't destroy unload and then sets the singleton instance.
Oh, great. Did you add this? Nice.
I did, yeah.
Does this replace the previous don't destroy unload component, basically?
It does, yeah.
Nice.
This
That's
one
wonderful.
I think is a little bit more clear about your intent.
Okay.
Right.
And you think it should be... Well, I guess we want to inherit because this doesn't necessarily work for a network behavior.
Yeah, I tried to make a network behavior version of this. This pattern must be copied and pasted. We can't use the generic pattern implemented in mono behavior singleton, which is the mono behavior equivalent of this, because Mira's code rewriting system does not know how to generate serialization code for a generic type.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense then. Yeah. I think that shoots down the component version of that completely, because if you change something to a network behavior and it stops working, that's
I don't think I'm using this. Oh, obviously I can't look for it because this is not actually referenced anywhere. But if and when we do need a network behavior singleton, we can do it. I'm actually almost into the idea that we just hang everything off of this.
I like it.
Game Manager, and we have one singleton. That's like the game.
Shit.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, that works.
Yep. There is an ominous thing
boy.
I noticed. See this checkbox here? Persist network manager to offline. Should the network manager object be persisted through the scene change to the offline scene?
That is ominous.
It's ominous because it seems to fly in the face of don't destroy unload. Right? Does something destroy the network manager if you set this? I read a little bit of the source code behind this option and I didn't quite understand it right away. So it seemed a little bit like, okay, it's a bit of a deep dive to figure out what this was. Damn. And then further convinced me that maybe this class is a little bit wonky.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ugh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see how that went. All we're looking for is a blue tank.
I think you're going to get it. And the red tank should charge you this time.
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't have an affiliation before.
Yeah, it actually has no target since we took out all... Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It takes out all the blue targets. Okay.
All right, so yeah, let's do some debugging, shall we?
Yeah, let's put a break. So I'm really curious what connection to client is. Can we break in the dictionary setting function and then in here? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is a great idea. So that was in Game Network Manager on server add player. We're talking about this one here.
Yeah, right? I want to know what ID it's getting both times.
Great call.
I assume two different ones.
On server add player immediately got called.
Yeah, as expected. That's what it's been doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the local. This is the player on the host, right?
Uh-huh.
And the connection ID is 0.
Okay. Fascinating.
Okay. Now we should be in the lobby.
Uh-huh.
And we never hit.
Ooh. Dislike.
Player script.
If is server. Are we Are we debugging the client or the server? I mean, I guess we're in both modes, so it should be.
It should be both, right? Did I take that player script off of the player?
It's the camper follower. That would be.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Do you want to put a break on the if is server line? We can just sort of see where this is. Yeah. Seems silly, but.
No, I get it. Oops. So this thing follows the mouse. I guess that makes sense. But when I command tab, it kind of messes me up.
Oh, it's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get one of those fancy new Mac keyboards with the Touch ID?
No, I didn't. Because I just bought this nice extended one, and then they put those on sale like a week later, so I missed my window to return this one. It's also right now I go between.
Oh, I'm in the prefab. Damn it.
Oh, I go between two Macs, and they said that you can only have a single computer paired to it. So I think if I switched the same keyboard between my work and personal computers, it would keep erasing my thumbprint, which sounds annoying.
Player script awake is never getting called. Oh wait, I'm still in the lobby. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not the server.
Okay.
Does awake not get called
On the server? What? I guess not.
Update gets called on the server for sure, right?
If you put a breakpoint there, it should break immediately, right? Because it's just running.
Yeah, but we're not.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah. So we can see that. Oh, we're not sure if we're in the server or not. I see. His client true.
His client.
Are we? Well, are we not debugging the server? Somehow. Oh, there you go. Is his client true? Is server true? Wait a minute. Is that possible? I mean, we are in the double mode, so.
Yeah, we're in the host mode, right?
Yeah.
So let me try doing this again. Let's stop debugging. Boy, this is really bad. Like when the game is playing and I click on it, it like doesn't respond right away. Maybe I just need a command tab. Stop being like baby. Connection ID is, I think, always going to be 0. I think it's just increasing, right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we don't need to super look into that right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is server false?
Is client false? The fuck? Does this maybe need to be in start and not awake? Has nothing been correctly set?
That might be right.
That's weird. Try it. Do we do any other stuff in... Oh, you have a start right below this, actually. Well, we gotta delete one of them. It'll definitely explode. Do we not do anything network related in Awake anywhere else? Gosh.
Good question. Hey.
Well, damn. All right. Still a big fan of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just murdering this poor UI.
Killed him.
Okay.
Right.
Nice. I don't like that that's what needed to be done. That's unpleasant.
Yeah, so let's take the mirror ducks. Is there a life cycle? Wow, why did it take that long to load this page? This is like some fancy
Maybe it's finally
static content generator bullshit, right?
as I say, it's doing some live generation on Heroku or something that Dino had to spin up.
Oh no. Game objects. There's that nice life cycle image that they have on this. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Script templates, IDs, attributes, network time synchronization. Maybe this. Nah.
Is it in the other guide, which is like the top to bottom how to use this?
I wish I remembered. I can.
It's
Is it this one?
It's either that one or no, I think it is go back one. What is at the bottom of the left menu here?
Brief history of Mirror.
Mirror
API reference.
Mirror quick start project. No, okay.
I don't think it's this.
No,
Yeah,
that's too bad because that one is very handy.
I didn't even know it existed.
It's like all the docs in a different format.
Okay, I should definitely read it then. Yeah. Game objects. Network behavior callbacks. I think this might be it.
I mean, I guess I
might be misremembering. I kind of want to just know, like,
can you search these docs for awake? I kind of like at least can wrap my head around this. Like, we have an ordering problem where the network behavior awake that sets whether or not is server true just isn't called yet.
Yeah, if you think about it, awake is like what you're supposed to use in Unity instead of a constructor.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that you don't know which scripts on the game object are initializing first. And if Mirror has to attach to that same infrastructure, it has no control over whether it gets initialized before anything else. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I guess I can get behind how this works. Like I can't imagine how you would.
There might be a way to set the ordering in like the build settings or something crazy like that.
Oh, yeah.
Script execution order. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So theoretically we could make Mirror happen. I hate that this is like hard coded in a menu somewhere, right?
Wow.
What the fuck? You know why it must be because there's some post-processing that happens after the compilation that like reshuffles the C# bytecode and like connects to the C++ runtime. There's all this. There's a reason why this can't just be C# code.
Mm-hmm. Now, if we dragged our player script in here,
we'd have to drag the player script and all the mirror stuff in there, whatever.
It looks like all of Mirror's there. Oh, I see. It's just
the telepathy
one
transport.
class. Oh,
yeah.
No.
There's all kinds of stuff in here. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I kind of don't want to mess with. So.
Nope. But it's nice to know. So actually, wait. I take that back though. If you go back to that.
Yeah.
Build set project settings. God, which settings?
Build settings. I want to say.
Unity doesn't want to say.
I'm sorry. It was the wrong thing. It was project settings.
The number of settings menu here. If we put player last or player script, all the mirror stuff should be running at default time, right?
So I see what you're saying.
We can actually say our shit runs finally.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah. Mostly I just want to know if this is gonna work.
Default time, I'm assuming, is just everything is 0 by default,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it says that every script runs here. Or it did when you hovered over it a second ago. There we go.
Yeah. Player script. So this is going back to awake.
Sure. I that's like God, it seems like it's a useful tool. It's also like enough for us to hang ourselves with if we ever depend on that. Like, ugh.
I yeah.
Okay,
There's some
great.
shit that happens. Yeah.
Well, so what scares me even more is does that behavior happen in start on the network identity?
Yeah. Are we depending on yeah, like when does it
Yeah.
we can mine I mean we're engineers. We can actually go into the source code and actually look for it, right?
True. And we could also test that. You could put the player script above the default behavior and see if it's not there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's in network behavior, right? Like it's like when does this stuff actually get set up? Um, net identity.is server. So we need the network identity to get attached.
Is that a very shorthand function application for like a one-liner?
Uh, this is yes, it's like a one-liner.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had that syntax.
Yeah, I don't know why it exists, to be honest.
Like,
it's just,
for shit like this, I guess. But
it's less typing, but like
just drop in JavaScript fat arrow syntax for like one thing. Okay, I accept.
yeah, C sharp is like the most object-oriented language of all time, and like they really want you to do stuff like this. But this is not the same thing as a property either, because like a property can use the syntax as well. I don't know. It's just
A property can
too
use...
much.
Oh God. Okay.
So I guess it's about the network identity, right? Network identity based values set from network identity awake, which is way more simple and faster than trying to figure out component index.
All right. Well, that sure implies awake, huh?
Yeah, network identity is a mono behavior, interestingly enough. So what does internal mean?
You can only set it from inside this class, right?
But it's not private.
Oh. Does that mean
On start server? So there's some callback here, maybe that didn't get called.
Okay.
Right. Reset. So whenever on start server is called, gets called on network server. So the object is already instantiated. When do we call awake? It must be after instantiation, but before this. And then I don't know. There's a lot that's puzzling to me about this. I think I'm not really comfortable like between instantiation. Like, what is the difference between awake and start? I guess maybe is a good question to be asking, right?
Yeah.
The awake function is called on all objects in the scene before any object start function is called. Okay, that's fine. There's an awake phase and a start phase. Start is only called when a script is enabled. So you can have a disabled script
and have its awake get called, but not its start. Neat.
Exactly.
Scary.
Which is confusing.
Yeah.
These two functions are called before the first update method. Okay, that's fine. So it's at the top of the update loop. I'm still
Oh,
confused
I actually
because
I like the last sentence of that answer. Awake is used to initialize, start is used to link objects. That's kind of,
okay,
I feel like that's
that's fine.
exactly what
Yep,
we're hitting, so
yep.
I accept it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a perfect way. Like you said that like it'd be weird to have dependencies between game objects, and I agree that you should try to avoid that, but sometimes you can't, and that's a situation where you just want to have a tall function that like initializes things in the order that you want them to be, and it's therefore very explicit that initialization order is what that function is about. Um,
Well, maybe that's why it's so nice that this is that they do give you a two phase sort of like init and init again option.
Sort of, but you still like you may have some initialization that requires the links to exist in the first place, and
Yeah,
you're back to square one, right?
that's true.
Yeah. Um. So I don't know. It kind of remains a bit of a mystery to me. Like when does spawn object get called? Because I don't think spawn object gets called before the first update, right? I think we've yeah, it calls spawn. This is network server.spawn. We actually do this, right, all over the place.
Hmm.
Really? Okay.
Huh. Wait,
It's dying on me.
I thought we used this a bunch though.
We do use this a bunch, yeah. Uh,
Oh, you're in a weird spot, maybe.
yeah, we spawn it right here. Uh, we spawn. This gets sent over the wire to the server, right? Call spawn object. And how do we know that we're in the server here? Oh, because we only call this from the server,
Yep.
right? Um,
Hmm.
so okay, that makes it network server only exists on the server side. Network client only exists on the client side. So neither awake nor start should have been called yet, right?
I don't think so. Yeah.
And network identity is server is probably null at this point, right? Or false. Then we set it here. I don't fucking know. This doesn't make sense to me.
It's a very weird chunk of code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a mystery that we can dig into a little bit later. But now we have a lobby. So now let's test it. Let's test the lobby.
You about to build me a build?
I'm gonna do parallel sync right now, but
Okay. Fine.
denied. I could build you a build.
Have you run this with two players in a minute? Because I haven't.
It's been a long time.
Okay, let's see.
So we'll see what happens. Well, we may very well end up run into some other heinous bug.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Where's the other player spawn point is on the opposite corner, so that'll be fun.
And they'll be on red team as well.
They better be. So I can just delete Unity Hub. Yeah. And this happens every time you do a fresh Unity, which is really, really weird and annoying. Come on. I've seen this on big changes too, when like I went back to an older commit. I don't know what causes this reindex.
Yeah, there's probably some. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some cache folder that, if you blow it away,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I haven't opened this in a minute, so the cache is going to be like way out of date, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Joining server. Oh, why did it do that?
What just happened? Oh, cool.
So I'm going to click
Ready?
ready.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Ready over here.
Okay. Now, I think you have to save yourself. Oh, shit.
Let's go join my our compatriot over there.
Yeah.
Ah!
Bad news. There's a bunch of Earth in the way.
I don't have a builder.
Okay, okay. But it is building.
There's my boy. Did I push him? I did.
You can... No.
Why did it move then?
I think...
Does it try to avoid? Aha! And then this guy over here now is got to go like, no!
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, too late. You're gonna.
I'm a pacifist.
Oh, can the red players see the blue player's builder if you open that up a little bit?
Yeah. Right. Let's build some shit.
No.
Yeah. It looks like the builder just doesn't render
On the other side. We had this happen with other stuff too.
Okay.
Shit. I like that the walls are doing their thing though.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I bet we can figure this out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let's take a look at the prefab.
Builder prefab? Cool. Does it have a network identity? Okay, good.
It does have a network transform.
Phew. And where the place where we spawn it, did I actually make a command? Or is that running on the client for some reason? I don't think you'd see the walls show up though.
Request build mover.create.
Network server.spawn. Huh. Interesting.
And this is a command, so that is a server RPC. God, why do they name these things this way? This is the first thing that we've had a nav mesh agent on, but the enemy tank is visible, right? And that.
Yeah, that one's working, isn't it?
Let's try this one more time.
Okay.
How do I focus on the game view alone? Was there a button?
You can hit. There's maximize on play, which will.
Maximize.
That too. You can right click on the tab name itself as well. Jeff, speaking of Crosscode, did you see that the Crosscode people have a new game announcement today?
They do?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get distracted for a second. Good on them. They're really good. What are they called again? Something fish? Radical fish.
Find their like news or something. So they're not a club. That's too bad. Oh, there it is.
It's too bad. Project Terra. Moving on with Project Terra.
Let's see.
Working on a playable prototype.
I think they dropped a YouTube in here though. Oh yeah, there you go.
Looks like Crosscode.
Looks like Crosscode, yeah.
It actually looks super similar to Crosscode. There's a little bit more parallax going on. They have a little back dodge.
It looks it's slightly more three-dimensional than Crosscode.
It is. It is. I think this. Okay, it's got shooting same way. You have jumping. No, Crosscode has a lot of verticality. It's actually surprising, but you're right that the parallax seems
When like the character jump is the character jumps in a strangely 3D way.
right.
Looks cool.
Crosscode is simulated in 3D, but it's rendered in 2D, which actually seems like a terrible way of making a game. But so you have a Z position in or a height off the ground in
Yep.
Crosscode.
No, I mean like, but for all the verticality, it probably makes sense.
Yeah,
Neat. Anyway, you'll probably get another one of those someday soon.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crosscode was like great, but abusively puzzly sometimes. Oh, I'm in a prefab, aren't I?
This is maximize on play is the key here.
I can see.
Nice.
Kind of funny how the res is different
I was
between the
gonna
two.
say, what is going on?
Okay. One thing I am curious about. Actually, what I want to do is drag this guy all the way out here. I hope that tank doesn't die. Damn it, he's gonna die.
It's gonna get murdered so hard. Yeah.
I wanted to see the enemy tank up here.
Oh, you want to see
So
the agent navigate?
I do.
We
Let's
give
turn off the turrets.
yeah, or give the tanks a hell of a lot more health, but turn off the turrets makes sense. Rip.
Double compile. Love it.
Ah, it's twice the fun.
Oh no, I hit the button too many times. I don't think this button should be clickable when you're still waiting for it to build.
There should be a separate stop button. Okay. So now you want to bring your friend to your friend. This map's too big. Wait, are you trying to see if you can? I see. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's moving.
It's moving. All right, so what's up with the builder? That's the mystery, right?
Yeah.
Somehow the builder is not existing across the network, right?
But
is our theory?
But the effect is the build happens, or actually, I'm not sure if I saw the build happen on. I'm not sure if I saw Red's build happen on the blue screen.
Good question.
Yeah, but I guess if there is a client-side only entity that is moving to a location and then sending network spawn object, maybe it is spawning the object on the network.
Network behavior. We do have a network transform.
Now, is there anything that needs to be sync-varred here, like the state machine state?
Only the server runs the state machine.
Oh.
In fact, yeah. I don't know if there's a way to mark this as a server only
yeah, no,
thing,
that's
but we
fair.
could.
Okay.
Right.
Huh. Oh, okay. So if only the server runs it, then we are cheating on our local machine because we're getting the effect of the server running it. When we're host, we get the server callbacks too.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Can we? Crap! It's really hard to like keep a server running and then keep connecting to it. That's what I want to do.
Is the mesh not showing here for? Oh, I'm in. Fuck. There's too many things. Do I need to add a child transform thing?
We did not have to do that for every object.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what? None of our other objects move. But they do get created in place. I mean, I don't think it'll hurt anything.
Returns from child. Target is this thing.
Hmm.
I could probably skip this. I'm gonna kill this thing because I don't care.
Hmm. So I have a couple questions at this point. Can we... What shows up in the scene view for the red player's game? Like, do they see a builder object show up?
Are you saying if I play the red player and build?
Or if you play the blue player, because the builder doesn't show up on... neither builder shows up for... What the fuck?
Okay. Okay. So the
Wait, it just worked.
yeah. The builder draws on the host.
Okay. I thought that wasn't happening before. Great. Okay. So both of them are creating the
But
servers.
the objects are spawning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to know if there is a builder object on the red side scene view while the game is running. Like, you have to unmaximize, but I'm curious what's getting created. And then if you flip to scene... Oh, sorry, I guess hierarchy is good enough. This one's just in a funny thing.
Okay. Let me move some windows around. This is where I would love to have a little bit more resolution. Come on, zoom.
Fair. It's super visible on my side. I can see the bottom of that list.
Okay. And so what we're...
But yeah, so the bullet gets created. I saw that. Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, just it's not there at all. And what happens on the red side when you build? Cool. Okay.
And then if we go to the hierarchy over here, we will see a builder show up because we see it. It draws.
Yeah, we should see
So
it. Cool.
there is a silly mistake here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing the same thing, right? Like this should be the same thing as shooting things, right? Command press spawn bullets. We instantiate the bullet. We network server spawn it, right?
Is there any weird shit where like we should be doing this network server.spawn inside the top scope of the command? Like, should we return the builder mover and then spawn the object? Like, I can't imagine why that would be the case. This is a network behavior. It's server annotated. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's server annotated. Shit. It does need to be created on the client, doesn't it? It should be syncing though.
Yeah. Yeah. Builder definitely gets a client that requests the spawning of a builder definitely creates something on the server side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can get rid of the server annotation. I don't think it matters though. That's just to cover our asses.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what is the thing that will tell a client to build the object, I guess?
This.
Okay. Right, that message is supposed to make the round trip. Yeah. Okay.
So let's maybe compare stuff. That's a prefab builder.
Hmm. You look at like the bullet next to that because I feel like that
Yep,
is a.
exactly. Transform, transform. And the mesh render lives underneath the top level for the builder. That's one difference.
Yeah, but we didn't even see a game object get created. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't like a missing mesh or
Yep.
anything. Yeah.
Network identity, network transform. It's not server only.
Mm-hmm. And the transform isn't client only.
Interpolate position, blah, 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 blah. Sync scale, servers.
They match.
Well, I did get rid of that server annotation, so let's see what happens. It's also on a different layer. I don't know why layers would matter.
I was thinking about that, but yeah. Oh, we're in prefabs on both of these.
Gosh, I'm so bad at this.
Unity leave prefab on. Unity exit prefab mode. On build.
Okay. Can you, on a regular Unity project, can you play the prefab?
I can't imagine why, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, that server annotation, I knew it wasn't going to do anything,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
didn't do anything.
Okay.
And yeah, we for sure are not getting another object. So it's just not making it to the client. But when I shoot, you can see the bullet spawning, right?
Bullets are good, yeah. And this is it's the same place. Ugh. All right, can we look at that player input script again? This must be something very silly.
Yeah.
So we have command request build and command spawn bullet, and they're right next to each other.
Check shoot, check builds.
Huh. Huh. We call instantiate in the, I guess so much stuff going on in the build remover too. Yep, that looks really darn similar. Is it? There were no errors on the other side, were there?
Good question.
Good luck finding it.
I kind of want this to only compile when I hit play now. I know it would make play like slower, but you have to wait for it no matter what, right?
Especially when I'm trying to go back and. So the reason you can't do that is because we need it to show up in the sidebar for like.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Because I'm with you.
Okay, so I'm over here. I want to just do the standard layout. Might as well. You're basically interested in the console. Well, there's all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, there's some errors. Okay. What's our red? A.
Oh, the builder prefab needs to be added to the network manager.
There we go. Okay.
Gosh, this sucks.
I like that it shouted at us. So, okay. Here is a thought I have. We have the object prefab list, right? It's in the game init there.
Yeah.
Can we just have the network manager read from that on start and just load all that shit up? So
we can.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
This is kind of like a fooled me 3 times situation.
Yeah, the only reason why you wouldn't want to do this is if you didn't want to load all your prefabs into the same scene. But I think the only time...
But our object prefab list is like all the prefabs we're using for this chunk of the game, right? Like it's stuff we're spawning, not necessarily the rest of the shit. So
and in Manchester, there's very little that we're not going to want all the time.
Yeah, but like
besides,
I wouldn't put the network manager
stuff,
prefab
right?
in there. Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying that somehow we can just read all this stuff out of it?
Oh, I mean, that's a good question.
Well, we either do it in source code or we do it here, and we have to enumerate them all.
But we're using this elsewhere already just to have access to this. So
yeah, we could do public
all.
Yeah, I mean, this could just be, well, it needs to be vector, right? Yeah, system collection generic.
Mm-hmm.
Is there such a thing as a vec?
Are you looking for an array?
Yeah.
I think it's just an array or a list.
Is it an array list?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not generic. What is their generic version?
Well, I think just because you're not in system collections generic, there very well might be one. Okay, is that gonna work?
Oh gosh.
Nice.
Ooh, golly.
Just list T. Okay.
So list is it's array index. Okay, yeah. So sweet. List game object all prefabs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you can construct it by passing all those in there too. Though will they be set?
There's an order of operations,
yeah.
Right? Like, will they be set by the time?
Yep, no, I agree.
So I think what this means is anytime we add a new thing, we just have to add it twice, which I'm totally fine with.
In this file,
Either that, or we can do a reflection and then list all of the stuff that starts with the word prefab. And this would actually be not a terrible time to do reflection because it'll only happen once, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down with that. If that's how this is gonna, this will keep growing. So yeah.
Yeah. Once it starts to get annoying, we can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do we do?
So there's a way to register these with the network manager. That thing is doing some shorthand for it. Yeah, look up prefabs in here, I guess.
Oh, what's the name of the property in Unity? Oh, Jesus.
It got us. Gets us every time.
It's that thing in Arrested Development where you touch the is it the little
the corn
donut
baller.
maker? The corn baller. Yes. Good memory. Good memory.
We've compared Unity to Cornballer before, so
Yeah, I know. I
it's
just couldn't remember it, but you
it's
can.
it's very apt.
Registered spawnable prefabs. That's what it's called. Registered spawn prefabs. Is this what it is?
Uh, yes. How they annotated it in an interesting way.
Yeah, how did they annotate it? How did they call it registered spawnable prefabs in the like where is this string coming from?
That's a great question. Network. Oh, they have their editor component. Goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. I'm into it.
Okay, so it is spawn prefabs. I think there is also a callback for that. But anyway, we can just stick things in there too.
Find all references. Register client messages.
Nope. Guess not.
Remove.
Cool.
Contains.
Okay.
So what you're proposing is that we get rid of all of these in the prefab. Just can them.
100%. Yeah.
Save it out. And
I'm giving our game network manager something to do.
so
Yep.
let's do the thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
How to list all variables of class. Get method. We could do type of this, right?
Huh?
No, it needs a type.
Okay. Was it dot local variables?
Get fields. Oh, I keep doing what I'm doing when I do web development, which is to go to a different window.
No, it's okay.
What is a field?
This says type of blank dot get properties. Was that there?
There's get properties. C# field versus property. Properties expose fields. Fields should almost always be kept private. Yeah, I don't care.
Oh my god. Dumb. Okay, that's yeah.
Fields is what we want. I don't care. I just want to make sure it doesn't compile out. I want to see what this looks like.
Cool.
It's good. It's good stuff.
It keeps us on our toes.
Yep. Components that are... What is this telling me?
You have multiple things selected somewhere.
Whoa, it didn't wake.
Mm, is it going to log out
Oh,
here?
you know what it is because it already awakes your.
Oh, okay.
So what about start?
Start. Thank goodness we got two of them.
There's a lot of subtlety here. Didn't start either.
No, that's surprising.
That is surprising.
Does the singleton also do that? No.
Well, just to be extra sure that we're not going totally insane.
I mean, did anything get logged into the console over here?
Okay, so wake's getting called. Breakpoints work.
Okay, okay. Huh.
I thought maybe there's something weird going on with the inheritance, but Game Manager at least does update, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no, there was nothing in the console on the Unity side here, right? I don't know what gets logged into that panel you were looking at. Oh, but it didn't. It didn't call. Sorry, it was another breakpoint. Doy. That's annoying.
Oh,
Oh,
it
okay.
logged.
Why didn't it break?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Huh. Okay. It went to update. That's weird.
Is this a weird thing? Can I?
Oh, can you not log? Yeah,
Yeah, is it like, am I getting an exception somehow?
maybe so. Yeah.
But it should be breaking before we print, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if this just worked rather than doing like weird stuff? Like, why does it need to fight us at every turn, right?
I mean,
And the reason why we're even doing this is to prevent it from fighting us, right?
it's true. It would be nice if it just worked.
Okay, now it's not even going. Am I on a breakpoint right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Here we go.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
it skipped the start.
Okay, but it logged the fields, right? The thing did the thing. I don't know if debug.log goes over there. Output instead of debug console?
Why is it not fucking loading the window? Is it because I'm debugging right now? Yeah. So it freezes the whole editor.
Yeah, oh you've paused its runtime. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, I thought it did log fields, but huh. Damn.
Okay. 2 field info. Is that an empty array?
What?
Or is that just the type?
Huh.
It is a huge bummer to me that the breakpoint doesn't work here.
I'm really confused. Yeah. Well, it's like if it ran that code and skipped the breakpoint, that is bad. I don't like it at all. What the actual hell?
It's possible that reflection is messing with the breakpoints.
That's interesting.
But reflection, it should just be like doing things at runtime, right? It's just like loading the symbols and stuff in here.
I definitely see a lot of Unity reflection is really slow. That's interesting.
How do I do a for loop in C#? This is embarrassing.
No, I need my editor to do that for me. It's not just you. Too many languages.
For in. All right. Yes. Let us see what happens.
Wait, why does it think that your for loop is not correct?
For each. Because C# just needs a new thing for everything. Does it? I wonder if it does it affect the parser? If I don't know, like some languages can handle this, right? They can handle like multiple structures.
Yeah, I mean, it just
JavaScript.
It just feels like we're having to we're grasping at a lot of strange answers, which this behavior is inexplicable. So.
Oh shit.
Nope, there it is. They're all there.
Prefab bullet. Oh, they're all there. And happily, they are. It does not include the stuff that it inherited, which is good. That's actually what I wanted.
Ah, brilliant. Okay. Nice.
All right. Well, I don't know how to actually get the variable off of it.
So what is F? What does F have on it? What is that class?
F is a type. It's like a field descriptor, right?
Because we want the value. Is there just
we want the value? Yes. C# get field value by name. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Amazing. That's not it. Oh, field info.
That's where our object is. Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we want is f dot
get
value of this, right? And then we would be doing game manager dot get dot game network manager dot spawn prefabs dot add.
Woof.
And then this type is just an object, right? And this is just a, hey, type checker, shut the fuck up kind of thing, right?
Yep. Is that going to work?
This is going to work.
Damn.
And I should probably switch over to the other one now because it needs to do the same thing.
Compile.
All right, this is supposed to be like a quick thing, but we're getting multiplayer back working.
Oh yeah, and hopefully there will be no more of this.
This nonsense.
We're
Is that what you
smashing. We're
mean?
smashing this particular bug once and for all. Yes, this nonsense. This nonsense is ending.
I will tell you what.
Tell me.
Never mind. I was about to complain about the design of Mirror again, but you know what? I'll just be quiet.
Why is it? Why does it need to know what prefabs?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Right, because
they should all be in the scene,
we're
right?
passing the whole goddamn prefab in.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you.
Maybe it needs to preload them, right?
I mean, maybe and it also synchronizes them across clients, right? So
Yeah.
there's
okay.
a knowledge of spawnableness.
Die, red tank. I'm going to your brother. Well, everything's spawned, so that's pretty good.
And this is going to just work. Yeah, bullets were spawning, so everything else will too.
Oh yes.
Now let's see. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Cool. Yeah. So I think Red should put down some turrets.
Why can't I build there?
Great question.
Now the turrets don't have any logic on them because we're doing early outs.
That's right. That's right. Cool.
But you know, we could actually do a little bit of a fight. The reason why I wanted to add a lobby is I wanted to get people to start testing our multiplayer out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't push the tank, nor do I run through it.
That's good.
Is good.
That's what
exactly
I want.
What I want. But for some reason, the nav mesh agent causes it to move. Right.
Yeah.
Weird?
I bet there's character controller specific interactions with each other.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which I don't like.
Oh, that's right. We drove over each other. You can actually see the camera pop up a little bit.
It's trying, yeah. So,
well,
but why is the nav mesh agent so aggressive about it? I still...
all things that need to be tuned. Yeah. But look, we can actually do a multiplayer game now. Which is like what we need to make this into a viable multiplayer battle. What would make this fun, actually, as opposed to just tedious?
Mm-hmm. Is the map too big?
The map might be too big. Yeah. There's no goals right now except to destroy each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess we could do a.
Well, it's interesting too. We have this sort of neutrality thing and enemy tanks. Is it team versus computer? Like, are you doing
PvE?
Yeah, are you doing a comp stomp or something?
I want to come up with just like a minimum viable PvP, and then go from there.
Cool.
Right, and then let the PvE and single player campaign come out of the mechanics that we. Unless you think we should be single player first.
I don't know. Never sure about that one. I
feel like it's easier to put in front of people if it's PvP because people can just like have fun.
Yeah.
With it.
Well, maybe we need like a little more than just the one tank that you control each. Like maybe there's a Dota thing where there's some of the tiny tanks get spawned. Do we want? I mean, base building is weird because if you build a base, you're not going to go fight the other person.
There's capture the flag, where so the way the original Bolo works is you can just play like deathmatch until the time runs out.
Mm-hmm.
They also have it where the game will end when it is impossible for the other player to kill you, which is a much more stringent requirement. So original Bolo had ammo, which is not a concept that we have. But basically, the way that you get more ammo is that you roll over the bases. The bases like refill your ammo and they refill your armor. But if the enemy has captured all of the bases and has forced you to run out of your bullets,
then you win. So capture the flag would be cool. Some sort of territory control would also be cool, where it's like you're trying to lock down. You're trying to lock down areas of the map. And when you control them, the neutral turrets are on your side.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like it makes it more dangerous for the other player the more you control, but then they're going in there trying to take control back. And I'm not sure what that mechanic is. Like shoot out some central controller and then put your own there or something. So
So
kind of
you're almost like racing to
yeah.
some like shared goal, right?
But there's gotta be a way to to impede the other player doing that as well. Like you can go and shoot them, or you can go and like take their territory back
Yeah.
for yourself. That'd be fun.
Do we need to limit building in any way? Do we
Probably.
need resources?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we have resources. They're just not used for anything. But you can pick them up.
Yeah.
That'd be fun though. That could be a really fast paced kind of PvP version.
Yeah.
And also could be super interesting as a campaign mode because there's a lot of ways that we could mess that up for the player in a story. A lot of different territories.
The two editors look the same now,
Uh-huh.
but it was like higher res when I had it on the different view.
Yes, I noticed that. And it was like the tanks were rendering the same, but the UI was like half as big on the right one. But the tanks were the same size, which I did not understand.
Whoa! That bloom looks so good.
I saw some pixels.
What's that?
I saw some pixels.
Yeah, it's pixely. Yeah, but you know,
That's rad.
I think having a movable camera would be good. Like imagine holding down control and being able to like orbit your player with a movable camera. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still want Q&E to orbit too. That's like my expectation. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah, but I also want zooming in and out. I guess that could be mouse wheel, but mouse wheel is prime territory.
I know. So are Q&E. They're important little buttons.
Maybe it's just hold down a button and that's just camera manipulation mode or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Interesting. So what sounds like the minimum viable PvP to you?
Um, I don't know because again, I think all these different goals are good. Um, I don't think just simply killing the other player once is going to cut it. I think it needs to be more interesting than that. What if we did do base capture?
Mm-hmm.
We did base capture, bases also repair you.
Okay. Yeah.
But how do you not make it just if it's only two people one on one? How do you not make it just like constantly trading bases, right? Because
Yeah.
there's only one of you, and you're just going to be like driving around. You kind of want some back and forth, but you don't want it simply that the bases are far enough apart that someone can just like go over and capture. It's just you just capture the other things that the bases that the other player has captured before because they're on the other side of the map from you, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I like the. I mean, it's trending dangerously close to a Dota model, but I really like the sort of like the front line is a thing that moves back and forth based on how you're playing.
I should play Dota. I was just telling somebody that today. I was like, well,
yeah.
we're making something that's kind of like a MOBA a little bit. So
you should play Dota
okay.
or League of Legends or whatever the Blizzard one is, because that's pretty damn accessible too if you don't want the full esport experience.
Wait, what is the Blizzard one?
Heroes of the Storm.
I had no idea.
I mean, they've got a Magic, they've got a Dota, they have one of everything.
Is it good?
I
never hear about this.
It's okay. I mean, it's a Blizzard game. I don't think it got the esportness that they wanted.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Warcraft 3, does it not?
I mean, Dota.
I guess Dota was Warcraft.
Dota's Warcraft 3, yeah. So Blizzard went in and did it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's the one of these games that I've enjoyed the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. But I think it suffers.
Is it all PvP? Oh, and you have squads.
Well, it's like the whole thing is that like there are spawn points that just spawn rando AIs, and but they're all just tiny enemies. So you're the
oh yes
you're the big guy, and there's support that comes in waves for you, and it's like
but there's no building in this, right?
No.
Okay, so that's the differentiator
Hmm.
for
That would be a big difference. Yeah.
yeah.
I also like. I'm not convinced that like multiplayer online battle arena is like the genre I want to hit.
No, it's not. It's not what I want either. Which is why I don't. I like the idea of having like little supports, but at the same time, I want it to be more ephemeral or a little bit more. Maybe almost like you know how it's Space Shooter. Did you ever play Gradius, where you get options? Um,
No. Oh, I kind of remember that. Yeah. I'm just gonna reinstall.
Gradius is a classic. It's like invented the genre,
That's
and
right.
the option are the little like floaty things that like copy what you do. See
Oh
these
yeah.
orange blobs?
Look at that. That's cool.
They shoot when you shoot,
Neat.
and they shoot missiles as you. That was a very innovative game mechanic back in the day.
Hmm.
Um,
Now I feel like the thing that I don't really have the answer for is like yeah I want the player character to get more powerful as
some sense
as
of development,
as they
right?
play,
Yeah.
and it's like probably from stuff you get on the map, and then like
Yep.
you use it, you make choices and use it in interesting ways to like attack the other player.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of like different mechanics that we've talked about doing. It's sort of a matter of figuring out which ones are fun and which ones balance out. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, Now we have infinite builders right now. We have infinite ammo.
Hmm.
We have one type of gun. We
Hmm.
have not only infinite builders, but infinite things that you can build. Are there constraints that we need to start like putting on this before we can allow PvP? Or can we even do PvP before we add that? I mean, we can do PvP now if we wanted to, right? Theoretically, it already works that way.
Yep.
Um,
Hmm.
Maybe rather than thinking minimum viable, like what's the next logical thing to add?
Hmm.
You can take it from that perspective.
Yep.
Some form of territory control. It sounds like
I think that makes a lot of sense, and it sort of answers the question of what is neutrality for, and
yep.
like why have a big map if you're not gonna build out. I like the idea of territory control. I think it sort of fits well into our cyber networky framing as well.
Okay.
Like I don't know, there's all sorts of reasons that you could be messing with stuff on the network. So and
What does
so,
territory control mean in these MOBAs? You just have a line.
so there's a map and there's multiple lines through it, and each side of the map is starts off evenly balanced, where you have the same number of friendly turrets on your side as their side,
Yep.
and you're trying to break down friendly defense, or you break down enemy defenses along one of your lines, and that's basically the strategy of the game. Is that like if you send all your heroes to one line, they either have to come and defend you there, or that you've left yourself open everywhere else, so they'll go and punch a hole back at you. Um, so it's like permanent territory control. Like once you destroy a tower, it's gone, and the map is changed after that because that is no longer a point that like damages your minions.
Got it. And then at that point, you just need to kill the other people's heroes.
So heroes die, they respawn like 10 or 20 seconds later. You're trying to reach their base and destroy their like central core thing, whatever it is in each MOBA is different, but
Okay. I mean, that's actually an easy mechanic, which is like destroy the other guy's thing that they're protecting.
yep.
But then also have points of either healing spots like bases in Bolo or
Hmm.
resource points that you can also claim and protect with turrets.
Yep.
That's actually not a bad.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, you can see it down here on the bottom of the map. They're like in the center of the thing between a red and blue territory, basically. So
Okay.
yeah, I like.
Does territory mean anything other than just like an environmental progress meter?
In this game now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But like when you've destroyed something permanently, it definitely does. It's a pretty big change for the map.
Yeah.
I like the notion of having our map be full of neutral things that you can control. I mean, maybe what we're building, like the builder is our core, but maybe when you collect a core, you can use the core to power up any number of things. Like you could power turrets, you could power like watchtowers, you could power shields.
Oh, so you put the builder into something.
Or it's you put the core, yeah, like
Oh, okay, I see. You destroy an enemy turret and then you can grab it, right? Something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's sort of it goes back to the turret cores from Bolo, where you grab something out of that, and in Bolo you could only build another turret with it, but it could be
And
the
then
power source for anything.
the thing you're trying to destroy, which is like the home base,
Hmm.
is where you spawn from and respawn if you die.
Yep.
I'm into it.
Okay. I guess we're making
Okay.
MOBA.
Well, I mean, it can just be one of the modes of play,
Yeah.
right?
No, it makes sense. No, I think it'd be really cool. And I think there's a lot to this that we will not follow this formula exactly, and will be really fun.
Is it always one side versus another side in
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always two sides.
I kind of want something a little crazier. I want like four. I want it to be possible to do like
Oh yeah.
2v2v2.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. Though I wonder if you 2v2v2, that'd be really fun. Yeah.
map balancing is always difficult in that type of situation, but I don't know. We can make triangles.
We
We
can
are
make
programmers.
we can make triangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should play one of these. Try a round or two of this thing.
Okay.
You'll be
Is it
frustrated.
free?
Yeah, it's free. You'll be frustrated how sort of like I feel like everything feels very
It looks
squishy.
kind of boring to me,
Yeah.
but
These things are really squishy and everything is like timer and cooldown based and it's like
yeah. No, I don't want that. I want something a little bit more organic feeling.
yeah, there is a lot of fun in here, but I don't like these games that much either.
Okay.
I loved the original Dota, like the Warcraft 3 mod was the best fucking thing. None of these really captured it for me.
Did I tell you about how I inadvertently invented the genre of tower defense during the Warcraft 3 beta?
Jeff, come on, are you serious?
The Warcraft 3 came out what 2001, 2002?
Yeah.
We were playing on Open BattleNet, which was like highly illegal. Uh,
Damn.
and the towers, human towers were OP during the beta period. And so the way that I would play the game is I would only create peasants and just build towers. And I would like organically create towers like a mass stretching across the entire map.
That's
Uh,
so funny.
and at a certain point, when you run at towers, the towers were OP. So like when you run at like a 3 tower thick wall of towers, you can't do anything about it. And that was the highlight of the game for me, is I could play creatively that way. You know what I mean?
Warcraft 3 was extremely good, and that is where tower defense pretty much came from, I think.
Yeah. Maybe StarCraft had a tower defense mod to it. No.
Not really, no.
Okay, yeah.
Because not every unit had towers, or every race.
In StarCraft?
Only the Protoss had towers. Well, I guess the Zerg had the different things. Never mind.
Yeah, you're right. Because you didn't really have legit towers as Terrans.
Yeah.
You had the missile towers that could only hit air units.
Yeah, and bunkers, which were their own thing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, try this one out.
Okay, I will try it.
It's dumb.
Maybe I'll just watch some videos. That's the best I can do.
No, play it. Get a vote for it,
Okay.
because we're going to steal at least one mechanic from it.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to reinstall it too.
Nice.
Ah,
All right.
Sweet.
I think we're at time.
oh, so we are. Goes fast.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm so glad multiplayer still works, and I'm glad it was just one bug.
Hey, and you know, we actually added this nice ergonomic thing here. We're using Voodoo C# to get what we want.
I mean, it's great. That's going to save us so much heartache.
Yep. I agree.
Sweet. All right, dude. Have an excellent night. I will see you on Thursday.
Later.